Hey everybody, it's Shu. So I said that I was done doing videos for Magic Duels, but I'm going to do one more. And that's because a lot of you have commented on some of my old videos, especially the ones that were talking about decks that can beat the AI to quickly get gold and so forth, saying that those were no longer relevant. Either important cards had been cut, like Foundry Street Denizen in the old mono red list, or the bot AI had changed. They do that a lot. The meta for what the AI plays changed with each set. Partly it was because they wanted to show off new cards, but I also think that they wanted to make a more difficult gold grinding experience. They wanted to make something that where games took a little longer, so people felt more incentivized to spend money on gold. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Earn your gold. Don't spend money. Don't give them money for a game that's past its support cycle. Nothing new is ever going to come to Magic Duels. There's no reason to spend money on it. But saying that, I know that there are people out there who are starting the game, brand new, or people who just never played a whole lot of it, and who want a deck that will help them beat the AI and earn a bunch of gold quickly. So I wanted to put together something that was good for that and was also relatively easy to build. So with that in mind, I put together this deck here, this red and white Kaladesh aggro vehicles deck. It's pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated, and it uses only cards from Kaladesh, so you don't need to go and open up packs from other sets. My goal here is so that way you can focus on spending all of your skill quests and AI game money getting packs of Kaladesh so you can build a deck, rather than presenting a deck that might be stronger and more sophisticated but has cards from all over the place and would require you to, basically get all the cards in the game to be able to reliably build. I don't want to do that to you. I want to give you a deck that you can build easily, and I think Kaladesh is the strongest self-contained set to do that. So that's why I put together this deck. Without further ado, let's take a look at what's inside. Okay, so as you can see, we're starting with a low curve here. We're starting with cheap creatures because we want to end games fast. When you don't have a lot of resources to play, really fancy mythic cards and everything, you usually end up playing aggro because aggro ends up having stuff that can be played with commons and uncommons. There are some rares and a couple of mythics in here. I don't think that pretty much anything is irreplaceable. So, if you don't have some of these cards, don't feel like you can't play the deck. Just make some substitutions and feel free to grab from the dual starter sets and anything else. But this is the list, and if you need to change a little, feel free. So we're starting with Toolcraft Exemplar. It's a 1-drop. Aggro decks want to be able to hit the ground running. He's not very impressive on his own, but if we get an artifact, he becomes a 3/2, and if we have a lot of artifacts, he's going to get first strike. The first strike is probably not going to happen that often, because if we have 3 or more artifacts, we are probably winning the game already. But the ability to have a 3/2 who can swing on turn 2 for 1 mana is a pretty good deal. And even if he doesn't get turned on turn 2, often he will on turn 3, so pretty good deal. We are running the maximum available 2. So Inventor's Apprentice, our other 1-drop, we're running the maximum available 3. Similar deal. He's not that impressive on his own, but he gets above rate once we have an artifact. So we have some artifacts to turn this on, and hopefully start the beatdown pretty aggressively. Gearshift Ace, a 2-mana, 2/1 with first strike. We'd be happy to play that just on its own. But the fact that it gives a vehicle first strike really helps, especially because a lot of the vehicles we have they have more power than toughness. So being able to get first strike on it means that those vehicles will stick around longer. So running the maximum available 3. You'll notice some of these creatures are dwarves that will come into play later. This is one of the few sets where dwarves were a thing ever since, Fallen Empires. So long way back. It's interesting to have a dwarf tribal sub-theme here, even if it's not very overstated. Speedway Fanatic, 2/1 for haste. For 2 mana, we'd already play that in an aggro deck, but the fact that it gives vehicles haste means that turn 2 you play them, you attack with them, you're happy. Turn 3, if you have a vehicle, now that has haste. It means Speedway Fanatic is going to stay relevant throughout the game, and that's pretty great. Veteran Motorist, another dwarf. We're running maximum available 3. A 3-1 with Scry 2, we'd probably play on its own, but it makes vehicles bigger, which it helps. Again, we want our vehicles to stick around. We are willing to trade them in combat. We're not going to like have the game last longer and longer. We want to be aggressive and get it over with. So we're willing to trade our vehicles if we have to, but making them bigger means often we won't have to, and they'll stick around for another turn. Speaking of vehicles, Smuggler's Copter, the best vehicle ever printed. Oh my goodness. We are running 2. We would run more if we were allowed to. There is a reason this card was banned in Standard. It is such a strong card. So you have to tap another guy to crew it, but as you can see, it's crew 1, which means that you only need 1 power, so little tokens can crew it just fine. And then suddenly that 1/1 is creating 3 power on the board. 3 flying power, by the way, so it's going over the opponent's head, and the draw and discard mechanic is optional, but often the best option that you have, being able to draw into more heat and discard things that are less valuable. Smuggler's Copter is fantastic. And with Veteran Motorist, for example, it becomes a 4/4. With Speedway Fanatic, we can give it haste and have it, active right away. And 3 power in the sky out of nowhere is respectable. So Glint Sleeve Artisan is the first card that we're not running the maximum available. We're running 2 out of the available 4. It's mostly just curve filler. We put in all the cards that we knew we wanted and then just sort of filled in gaps after that. But this guy isn't bad. He's 2/2 for 3, and then he can either become 3/3 or make it a 1/1 token when he comes in. Usually we're going to make that 1/1 artifact creature token because that turns on our 1-drops and can also be used for fuel for Pia Nalar to stop blocks. So he's not bad, he's just not the best thing in the deck. Speaking of Pia Nalar, so 2/2 for 3 again, but also makes an artifact creature, but this one is flying. It's a Thopter rather than a Servo, which is nice. She can give that Servo or other artifact creatures extra damage at the cost of mana, which is nice. You're going to have mana, and you're going to not have things to play with it at some point. So her being able to repeatedly dump mana into artifact creatures to make them hit harder is really nice. And having a Thopter so that it can put that damage over the top makes it even better. And she can also sacrifice an artifact to make something unable to block, which is often relevant. Especially it's nice to, sack a Servo or a Thopter artifact token so that one of your vehicles gets through unharassed, and that's a trade we're happy to make. We go to Depala, Pilot Exemplar. This is where the dwarf theme comes in. She buffs them to make them bigger, and that on its own is not bad. We're not running enough dwarves that we would run it just for that, but a 3/3 that makes some of your dudes better is already a good deal for 3. Your vehicles get bigger, that's enough that we would want to play it. And anytime she becomes tapped, you can pay X to reveal the top X cards of your library and put all the dwarf and vehicle cards from them into your hand and the rest on the bottom. So when you start running out of heat, if you attack or you use her to crew a vehicle, she can go and dig into the deck and get you more stuff. And that is a pretty sweet deal. So we're running the maximum of 2. As a legend, you can't have both of them out at the same time, but when there's only 2 in a deck of 60, we're not usually going to have both at the same time. Renegade Freighter's our next vehicle. It's meat and potatoes. It's going to be swinging as a 5/4 and get trample, and that's pretty good. And it gets a lot better with all of the fancy crew bonuses. It's nothing fantastic. It's not as good as Smuggler's Copter, but it's a workhorse. It beats through the board, and it often makes unfavorable trades for the opponent. So not bad. We're running 4. Revoke Privileges. This is our removal here. We are only running 3 because we don't really need 4. It's a good enough card. It's just our goal is to get in and beat through and win. We want to run enough copies of Revoke Privileges so that we can get past blockers, but we don't want to run so many that we're like a control deck or anything. So we're running 3 to make it semi-reliable to get them, and makes a creature unable to attack or block. The block is the mostly relevant part here, and it also can't crew vehicles, which not usually going to be relevant, but nice side benefit. Fleet Wheel Cruiser, we're running 2 of these. 5/3 Trample Haste is already pretty good. Fancy thing about it is it becomes an artifact creature on the turn it comes in, so you don't have to crew it the turn it comes in. You can if you want to give it some of those benefits like First Strike, which is especially nice given how soft it is. It's only 3 toughness. But if it's just going to get past blockers, you don't need to crew it at all. Just the turn it comes in, it's a creature, and then on subsequent turns you'll have to crew it. But yeah, we are running the maximum of 2. Haste is really important because haste is what gives us the ability to end the game before the opponent can interact with us. We don't want them to interact with us. We want to just quickly get through and smash them so that we can get our gold and start buying more packs. Then we've got Chandra, Torch of Defiance. She's not really that important to the deck. It's just another card in Kaladesh. If you have it, you might as well run it. It's incredibly strong. If you don't have it, there are plenty of other things within the set that are worth running. I just like it. Angel of Invention, same deal. It's not critical to the deck, but if you have it, you might as well run it. It's a great curve topper. It's a good way to put away the game because all of your other guys are going to get bigger. It's creating servo tokens if you want those to make some of your artifact creatures bigger, or you need to sacrifice something with Pia to punch through. And yeah, again, not necessary, but if you have it, you might as well run it. And then with our lands, we are more of a red deck than a white deck, so we're running 12 mountains, 10 plains, then 2 Clifftop Retreat, and then Ether Hub. I've been running it just for the fixing. If we wanted to run Harness Lightning, Ether Hub would make that a little better. But yeah, honestly, I'm just running it for the fixing. We don't want to get stuck with all white or all red when our hand is something else. So yeah. And that's the deck, so let's see it in action. Okay, so let's get some games in here. This is against the hard AI. Yeah, that looks keepable. It's a little awkward because we're going second, but I think we can do this. Getting that train going, the turn it comes down ought to help. Got some good mana. We've got Pia Nalar to push the train through unblocked at least one turn. Hopefully we'll draw some more heat. Okay. And I wish I hadn't seen that come down, because I would really like to drop our pilot and swing, but I'm not going to throw him into certain death. This is one of the things when I was talking about how they changed how the bots worked to thwart some of the faster gold farming strategies. They start playing guys like this who are not good, but kind of overstated, which makes it dangerous to just get in there and just go straight to the face. But now this turn, we can smack him out of nowhere with a train. We didn't get to use the haste on our pilot, but at least he can give it to the train, and we'll get some value there. Having 2 Pia Nalars is a little awkward because of the legend rule, but it does mean that if we need, we have at least 2 uses of stopping a blocker, so that's cool. Wise decision. Nice, he doesn't have any other blockers. Oh, okay, well, yeah, let's just revoke his privileges and keep swinging. Nice big even chunks of 5. We only gotta hit him 4 times to do that. We've already got 1, and here comes 2. Okay. Just bowl that over with the train. Drawing more land than we would like. But I think we've still got a pretty good run here. And yeah, we'll attack with our pilot now too, since we don't have any other vehicles. Give him the choice of getting trampled over by the train or trading with our guy. Pia Nalar is probably not going to be attacking that often. I did make a mistake there in that I didn't use the mana for Pia to buff the train for 1 point. I don't think it's going to matter, because we only have to hit with the train one more time and we can sacrifice this Thopter to make something not block, unless he plays 2 creatures. Let's see. Okay, no 2 creatures. Unless he's got a trick in his hand, we have this game. Okay, so yeah. Making sure everything's in order. We've got our vehicle. Sack a Thopter. And now his one guy that could block cannot. And this ought to be game, unless he's got something in hand. Okay, not bad. 15 gold, easy. Let's give another game a go here, see how this one goes. So opponent's playing first again, which is obnoxious, and this is not a great hand. Let's throw it back. Also not a great hand. Yeah, no, okay, this is better. If on the other one we didn't really have any chance of drawing into things, we just have to live based on what's on the deck. Here we can scry a little bit to make sure that we're drawing heat. Going second still sucks. Let's see what we got. If he doesn't have anything, we'll go in with haste next turn. Oh, no, okay, he's got that guy. So we don't want to go in with haste. I assume he would trade. So let's just put out the guy with first strike here. If he wants to attack without exerting, then we will kill him. So it'll force him to exert, which basically means he won't be able to use the guy as a blocker the next turn. And it'll force him to exert if he wants to attack, and it looks like he's going to do that. Drawing Chandra is nice. That'll maybe help us get to some heat also. I think next turn we want to scry and hopefully draw into some vehicles. And we can use all of our mana this turn, which will be nice. Yeah, toss those back. We need a vehicle to put this away here. Go for 2, then on our second main we'll play our other guy. And the following turn we'll play Chandra probably, and see if she can draw us into something that'll put this game away. Huh. Okay, so that's probably bad, because he's probably going to throw that guy into one of ours and kill it. Yep, alright. Next turn we'll play Chandra and we'll kill that fucker though. Thought about using removal for a second, but no, I think we want to use Chandra here because we want it on the board so that the following turn we can already have her out and start ticking her back up. So I think this is the right play. I could be wrong. But if I am, I mean, if it goes badly, I don't think it's going to go badly in a way that using revoke privileges would have fixed. Okay, that's really bad for us. It's not over, but that's really bad for us. That's a ton of meat to beat through and a lot of life gain. Let's see if we can dig up a vehicle here with Chandra. No, we just milled past a mountain, but that's fine. I mean, it's not great, but we want to get past that mountain, so good. And we'll stop the big cat. The tokens are easier to fight through. Hopefully we can do something before he brings back the guy to throw his enemies at us, or throw his creatures at us. Oh, or you could just have another one in hand, another Manticore. Okay. So, yeah, this just went real bad. You can use that and swing it in there, and maybe it'll draw some heat and put this away. We're in a bad place, but, and throw that out there to, kill something now that it's bigger with its first strike. Yeah, let's get rid of the Manticore here. He's going to gain some life because we didn't kill the cats, but I'd rather get the Manticore off the board. We can deal with some weak cats. I do think the deck has a decent amount of reach for a red-white aggro deck, more than most of them do. Okay, now this is bad. So he's going to bring back another one of those. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to shoot, but it's still another creature I'd rather not see. Okay. You know, I probably should have just swung with a dwarf and spent all 5 trying to dig. But we'll do it next turn. I don't want to send her in for what is almost certainly death, just for 3. Oh, but now, oh god, I see what's happening. Yep, here comes the other Manticore. Probably gonna shoot our fancy one. Yep, fuck. Okay, this game is basically over. I can't win them all. Yeah, getting a mountain here, yeah, this is... You can't win them all, and for having a deck that's built out of just one set, I don't think we should ever expect to. But... let's put in one more game here, see how it goes. So us going first is a big help. Aggro wants to go first a lot. Yeah, a little awkward, but we've got a turn 2 play that can hopefully get us some more stuff, and then our Exemplar can really go deep, I bet. Okay. And let's see what's on the top. Okay, we do not want to draw 2 more lands, so we're going to move those to the bottom. Alright, we're going to play our Exemplar first, so that we get the extra 1/1 on this dwarf. He doesn't have anything to stop us from doing that, so we're going to play it first phase. And we've already hit for 4 on turn 3. It's not bad. We've got an ample opportunity to draw some more stuff. Huh. Does he have anything yet? Does. Okay. Honestly, I'm just willing to swing into that and just dig for cards. If he wants to trade out, I think that's fine. He won't be able to kill the card that matters. But yeah, let's just do that. And just dig. Oh, holy moly, that is all cards that we get. So yeah, a 3/3 that buffs our guys and just drew us 4 cards. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, we don't need fixing right now. Our land is in a good position. So that went well. I think next turn we crack in really hard. We drop the vehicle, we swing in with everything. I think we're gonna play our 1-drop on the second main phase, rather than dig for 1 card, which has a decent chance of failing. So you can't kill our vehicle with that. That's a fair trade. Okay, so he's gonna kill our vehicle with removal, but Even so, we're going to hit him reasonably hard. We have the board again. We have that guy. And next turn we can play a train so that our 1-drop gets bigger during combat. And we can dig for more cards during the attack. Huh, okay, we're probably not going to play the train now. We're going to want to revoke privileges and then just dig. Oh, yeah, if we get the land, let's do that. Put out the train. And now we hit harder. He's in a pretty bad spot. We're going to hit him really hard. And his one creature out there can't attack or block. And we still have more violence coming his way. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that's it. Alright, well, if he doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve, we win. And put that out there, give the train first strike, just to hopefully get around any tricks. And also to be able to crew with somebody who wouldn't otherwise be attacking. Gets us more effective power going at his face. And yeah, I think let's dig, but leave enough so that we can play our 1-drop, probably. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I accidentally tapped out. But, I don't think he has any tricks. Let's see. He does not. Alright, so 15 more gold. So, like I said, you can't win them all, but I think we did pretty well. I think this deck is a decent way to get gold in the early game.